Yeah, but in the Eastern Conference, do you have any other teams you just want to mention, like as disappointments or surprises?
Oh yeah, definitely. One of our analysts is a huge Knicks fan, and I was surprised. Honestly, the Knicks to me, like they're in the bottom for not the bottom, but they're like not in the playoff picture. And the Knicks were in a good winning streak. I'm like, oh my god, what's going on, right? But I think my biggest question of Julius Randle is can he keep doing this consistently after this All Star break? Um, kudos to Julius Randle. I think he deserves it. Like he's really good right now. I'm just wondering, can he do that for the rest of the season? I think that's the big thing. Like, can he be this consistent guy? And yeah, I mean, shout out to Knicks. I mean, they needed a coach. I thought that was the biggest thing for the Knicks. They needed a coach. To me, like, I don't think like trying to get players will solve all the problem. We definitely see that a lot of teams. But if you don't have a good coach, I think you're not going to play well unless you're like the super very talented. But like the Knicks are not doing that right now. So having Tom Thibodeau and having these young guys, I think RJ Barrett's definitely stepped up. I think Emmanuel quickly, I think he's gonna be in this conversation of the rookie of the year to me. He stepped up too. Like a lot of players stepped up in the Knicks. So shout out to the Knicks. Okay, my biggest disappointment. I think what I said the Hawks were pretty. I think they're going to be a dangerous team. They fired the coach,
Mhm.
which I was kind of surprised it took them this long. But the things that I saw, the reports were like, oh, like the Hawks, some of the Hawks players like really wanted it out. That kind of shocked me a little bit. I was like, oh man, like Lord Pierce, he doesn't look like a bad person. He knows like what to do. Like, but I was surprised. Like even the Hawks players said that. And right now they're in a 2 game win streak. I think Nick McMillan is a good like backup. He did really well in the Pacers, and I'll talk about the Pacers later. But yeah, Pacers another team. I thought they were kind of disappointing. Um, and let's go to the Hornets. Hornets.
Mhm.
I think it's gonna fall off. I don't think they're gonna keep up. Um, unless I could be completely wrong, but I think their next step is to get another coach. I I don't know who is it James Borrego, their coach. I think he's a good coach, but I don't think it fits the Hornets style right now. We definitely see it like Lamelo is doing well. I think because like Devontae Graham is injured, and we could see that. And people were like, "Oh, they're gonna trade away Terry Rozier. Oh, scary Terry. No, 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 no. He's staying. I think he's staying." Um, Lamelo is a different like, person. Like his IQ is just off the roof, and like very happy that uh, Lamelo and Carmelo met up and switched jerseys. I thought that was like really iconic because
Yeah.
like Carmelo really respects the Lamelo game. I was like, wow, yeah, like that shows like these old guys are looking at these young guys and saying, this guy can hoop. You know, um, yeah, I think the next step for the Hornets is to get a different coach that helps Lamelo to thrive more. And I can't think of one honestly because there are
Yeah.
not that many good coaching staff out there.
Mhm.
So it's going to be tough, but yeah, I think the Hornets. I think it's going to fall off soon. But yeah, I'm very proud of like Lamelo surprised me. Like even Michael Jordan was even surprised about it.
Yeah.
So
There's been so much pressure on LaMelo. Like even going into the draft, people had these expectations, and people had those expectations for Lonzo. Stephen A gave you the quote, I think, the other day. He said LaMelo is everything we thought Lonzo would be. And I think that was like perfectly spot on. Um, LaMelo is more aggressive. He's very aggressive in the paint. He can finish better than Lonzo can right now, and he's shooting well, especially for his first year. Um, yeah, I just think him performing under pressure is one of the most magnificent things. And you can always hear the Hornets announcers on those Instagram pages. Like the Hornets announcers just have a different ring to them. They have a different enthusiasm whenever they're talking about their players. But yeah, I just want to talk about. I want to mention real quick Zach Levine. Give him some love. He's carrying the Bulls pretty much right now with Kobe White, I guess, and he's just a superstar, rising star in this league, and definitely going to be there for years to come. And then also like just talking about these teams who were good playoff teams last year, but haven't really performed. The Miami Heat and the Toronto Raptors. So both of these teams, I think it's just worth breaking down. They're both around 500. I think they both just had slow starts and now they're sort of getting their rhythm together. I definitely think we'll see Miami be a tough out again in the playoffs. I don't think we'll see them get to the finals again, but I think they'll be in the second round at least. Um, and Toronto, I don't have too much faith in Toronto actually this year. I think from last year they slightly of a downgrade just because all the other teams in the East got better and they stayed around the same with who their players are. But I guess I could be wrong. Never count out Kyle Lowry, Fred Van Fleet. Pretty solid backcourt there. And yeah, that rounds out the East for me. Um, yeah, Wizards, I guess. Wizards have some star power, and we like how they're playing right now, but I don't know. Wizards could sneak into the playoffs at the end. And then there's the Pacers, who you wanted to mention. I think you said we'll get around to them. Sabonis is playing well, but they lost Oladipo. I'm surprised to see what happens. I don't know about when Karis LeVert's timeline is, but I'm surprised to see what the Pacers team looks like with Karis LeVert being what he was in Brooklyn. I think they'll still be a very good team because he's comparable to Oladipo in some ways in terms of like being a leader and taking the ball when it matters. So that could be interesting, but that rounds out the East for me. Do you have any other teams to mention? We didn't really cover the Celtics, but the Celtics have been also kind of disappointing. They just have two stars. Kemba has been inconsistent.
Yeah, so I think when's the trade deadline? Do you know exactly? But if I heard if the Celtics are looking for a big man, I think it's Nikola Vucevic. And right now the matchups are like 14,
Yeah,
which that to me I'll be like, oh my, like that would be such a good trade. And I think Celtics you need to go for. I think Nikola Vucevic is this underrated all star. Like he's
mhm.
been putting up numbers, but he's in this magic. Like oh, watch the magic, right?
Carrying them
So
as a, like a whole
and yeah, he's like this guy is putting up like stats. Like hold on, let me see it. Let me see what he's.
and trade deadline is March 25th, by the way.
Yeah, so I
Like
like
Celtics got 19 days. They should be on that because yeah, Tristan Thompson has not been working out for them.
yeah, like his stat line is 24. Oh, let's round it up. 25 and 12. Like hello, like that's a good like stat line. Do you not want Nikola Vucevic? Like if I'm the Celtics manager right now, I'm like, let's try to get Nikola Vucevic. And of course, I think they're worried about the, just give away the picks. Like, you don't need them anymore as much as you want to. Like you already have like two stars already, and like so I feel like, and if you have Kemba and now if you got Vucevic, I think that's the problem with the Celtics. They're big. It has been a problem. Like it was like rumors saying Steven Adams was getting traded, but he didn't. But if you try to get Vucevic, please, like I hope that if the Celtics gets Vucevic, I think this became not a 3 team, a 14, a 14 race, and like yeah, if they get Vucevic, I think it's gonna be a big pickup.
Yeah, for sure. I definitely agree with that. They need a move. I'm excited for the trade deadline because there's always some type of move that a contender makes. But yeah, that'll round out our Eastern Conference midseason recap. I think we covered all the teams. I think we're just excited to watch All-Star Weekend, see what happens, and we'll be continuing to do our weekly recaps in the future, and we'll see you soon. Thank you for watching our midseason NBA recap. If you like this video, please consider subscribing to our channel, the M2M Network, for more sports and entertainment content.